Welcome to Music She Missed, the podcast which chronicles my best friend's discovery of some of the most popular songs and artists which impact our lives. I'm Alison.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I missed all the music.
If you're a new listener, we'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the format of our podcast. I'll choose an artist and quiz Rachel about her knowledge of that artist.
And then I will have some homework and listen to artists for the entire week on our Spotify playlist.
Right. After that week's over, we'll come back, talk about the artist and the music.
And I get to give a rating of how much I will want to listen to it again.
That's right. But before we talk about the artist for this week, Rachel, I want to ask you, I know you play the piano, but if you could magically gain the skill of another instrument without having to practice, what instrument would you want to be able to play?
I would say the violin.
Did you know that I played the violin growing up?
Don't you have one underneath your guest bed?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Maybe I will learn, and I will let you teach me.
Oh, because violin is so easy to learn.
What? Like, you know a lot of instruments.
I know two.
No, you know a lot. You're being modest.
The auto harp does not count. You just hold down buttons.
But still, you have a beautiful voice, and that is an instrument.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what other instruments would you want to learn?
Actually, I'm jealous of your piano playing abilities. I took piano lessons as a kid for like 2 months, and I can read music, but I can't play. And I love the piano. A lot of my favorite musicians are pianists, and I'd love to be able to play their songs and not just songs on the guitar. Yeah.
I never knew that.
Now you know.
And we've been like best friends for like over a decade.
Maybe you can give me piano lessons and I'll give you violin lessons.
There we go.
Make a lot of noise.
I don't know if it'd be pretty noise, but it'll be fun.
So the piano is actually related to the artist of our big reveal today.
I'm kind of excited because I love the piano. So maybe I know this artist or maybe I don't.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know a lot of music, though.
I know. But every week, you know one more musician than you did the week before. So are you ready to see who the artist is going to be this week?
I'm so excited. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's do the drum roll. It's Stevie Wonder.
Yay! I like Stevie Wonder. I really do.
You do? Like, you know his music? You like him?
Doesn't he sing My Girl?
No.
Oh, and I don't know who he is. Wait, why do I think he sings My Girl? I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
He's blind.
He is blind.
But it's a good thing.
Well, I guess it heightened his hearing musical abilities, maybe. You're right.
I'm excited. I don't think I know too many songs. I don't think I know anything.
Apart from the fact that he's blind, can you name any of his songs? Can you name anything about him? Do you know?
Yes, I do know he plays the piano. Yes, I do know he likes to wear shades. I think he does Christmas music? No.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so this is what I know of Stevie Wonder when I hear about him. There was the lighting of the Christmas tree downtown New York City in Rockefeller Center.
Okay.
And so when I was growing up, I lived outside of New York City. And so we went to go see the lighting of the Christmas tree. And I think he was there.
Oh,
and
that's kind of fun.
He was playing the piano, but I don't know what he played beyond Christmas music.
Okay, well, this week I'm going to introduce you to a lot of non-Christmas Stevie Wonder songs. I'm going to list a couple, and you can just tell me, yes, you've heard of it before, or no, pass. Okay? All right. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours.
Yes, wait a second, that's him?
Yeah.
I thought other people, like not Destiny's Child. No, that's Beyonce. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm talking about. No, the Temptations.
I think you might be mixing up the Temptations because they did My Girl.
Okay.
Okay. But let's stick with Stevie Wonder. So, signed, sealed, delivered. Superstition.
Pass.
For Once in My Life.
For Once in My Life. I know a couple of those songs because they were in, that song was in like a movie or something like that. And I know songs from movies. So yes, I do know that one.
Okay. Isn't She Lovely?
Oh, I think we did that song when my daughter was born.
There is actually a baby cry at the beginning of that song because it's about Stevie Wonder's daughter. So.
Oh, fun. Okay.
And then I Just Called to Say I Love You.
I feel like I should know that one.
You might know the chorus when you hear it.
Maybe from a movie or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
So Stevie Wonder has been around since the 60s, been making music. He is a huge name in the R&B category, soul, funk, bringing in lots of different influences. And he even recorded a song with Paul McCartney of the Beatles, which, as you know, is my favorite. And so that's on the playlist, too, just because
Fun.
I like it. So I would like you to rate your familiarity with Stevie Wonder. 1 being you've never heard the name before, no concept of music at all, and 10 being he's your favorite.
I would say he's kind of in the middle. I know who he is, and I like his music that I know of now that he doesn't sing My Girl.
So which songs do you like again?
Okay, so maybe he's like a 4.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Sounds like okay. It's awesome.
So I hope you have a great week listening to Stevie Wonder. Maybe you could learn some of his songs on the piano.
That would be fun.
So Rachel, I'll see you in a week, and audience, we'll see you in just a moment.
Sounds great.
Okay, welcome back. Rachel, you spent the last week listening to Stevie Wonder.
I had a lot of fun this past week.
Tell me about it.
I think I just like the smoothness to it. It just felt comforting.
Okay.
I felt like there was an upbeat to it where it encouraged me. It made me smile throughout each day, and it wanted me to listen to more songs by him. And then also just I liked the lyrics, and so I really had a fun week.
I'm glad to hear that. And I agree. He has a great voice, and his music is very positive and very uplifting, and it makes you feel good when you listen to it. Let's start by just talking about, were there any songs that you didn't like?
Honestly, I tried to find one, and I couldn't.
Even Ebony and Ivory?
I liked it because I liked the beat. I liked the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
I liked how the lyrics gave questions in my head for it, and I honestly
in your head?
Yeah, questions. I was like, what is this lyric trying to say of the integration of
between the black keys
and the white keys,
okay.
and just like wondering his life experiences and what spurred on to those lyrics. And so those were good questions of wanting to understand him as the writer of the song, but also him as the performer of the song, of where that performance is just, he does a great deliverance of that song.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad. Did you have any that were your favorites that you kind of went back to over and over again?
I think Isn't She Lovely? That one honestly makes me want to dance at my wedding and have that one song just part of one of the picks.
Even though it is about a baby. So I don't know if you caught this.
But I would still play it on my wedding because it's such a sweet song.
It is a sweet song. And he has lots of great love songs.
He does.
I'm glad you brought up Isn't She Lovely because it was written for his daughter, Aisha. But what's great about it is that now she's a grown woman and she sings backup vocals with him on tour and like sings that song. So it's like a really special connection.
That is special. I like that he has a good relationship with his kids. That's good. How many kids does he have?
I believe 9. But Google can confirm it. Let's talk a little bit about his background. He started performing at age 11, but
11.
Yeah, and was blind pretty much since birth. So he grew up playing a variety of instruments from a really young age and was really able to like develop his musical talent. He's like a virtuoso, literally. On almost every album and every song, he plays every instrument that you hear. So it's not just that he plays piano, he plays harmonica, he plays the bass, he plays the drums, he's singing. You didn't know that when
I didn't know he could do so many instruments. I knew he did the piano.
Yeah.
In that part. I just didn't know he was that musically talented.
Yeah, he's gifted.
Very gifted.
Mm-hmm. Originally, because he started at such a young age, he was called Little Stevie Wonder. And his first #1 hit under that title was when he was 13 years old. So he's the youngest artist to ever top the charts.
13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought there were some artists that we've previously looked at, and I was like thinking,
They're pretty young.
wow, bebop kind of people. I was like, they were really young, but now 13, Stevie. Props to you. Woo-hoo.
And after his voice changed, the label was like considering dropping him. But that's when they came out with the song Uptight, Everything's All Right. That's the earliest #1 as an adult. And that's what cemented him as staying like as an adult entertainer and like continuing writing songs and being involved in like the Motown music industry.
So let's take a pause on that song.
Okay.
I particularly like that song a lot.
I do too.
I like how it got my feet moving. And I broke my ankle last year. And so I was so thankful that I could dance. I was like, yes, I can dance, and I can dance to Stevie Wonder. And I can recognize that this song is actually Stevie Wonder, because I won't lie to you, before this week, I didn't know that it was Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Nor have I ever actually heard the song.
Well, I have to confess, when I was compiling this list weeks and weeks ago, doing the research for this show, that I was reading up about Stevie Wonder and finding like, his #1s and putting them on the list. And I found myself going, oh, that's him too. And I even found myself listening to a song on the radio and thinking, this sounds like Stevie Wonder. Let me Shazam it. And then it would be, and I hadn't known before. So I learned a lot too during the research.
That's fun.
But what's great is like he's been around continually making music since the 60s. He has 25 Grammys and a Lifetime Achievement Award. From that, he also has an Oscar and an Emmy. So if somebody could just make a Broadway show about him, then he'd have like the Tony, he'd have everything, like he's across the board. Mm-hmm.
Seriously, they should really consider that.
Yeah, maybe we could write a Stevie Wonder musical, go on Broadway.
I have seen Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And that one's a cute one with
ABBA songs.
Yes,
But that's what's cool. Lots of bands music gets turned into musicals like that. So it could still be done. He could EGOT. One more neat award that he got is he's also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Obama.
Really?
Yeah. About more than 30 American musicians have received this award from a president.
Okay.
But President Obama said Stevie Wonder, quote, is one of the world's most gifted singer-songwriters. And so he has our nation's highest honor that you can give to a civilian.
Very cool.
Yeah. What are some of the questions that you had about Stevie?
I love that his songs are very love songs-ish. Mm-hmm. Kind of curious about his background, of just his personal life, of what influenced his life. He's married, got kids.
He was married twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has kids. So I think a lot of those love songs are going to be about, the women in the different women in his life that he's loved, or, he wants to write it. I read in one of the interviews that he wants every one of his children to have a song, for them. So he has songs for his different kids. Yeah.
Oh, that is sweet.
But they're not all love songs.
True. I think there were two specific songs. The city one.
Living for the City.
Yeah, Living for the City. I know we talked a little bit about Ebony and Ivory with the black and white keys, but
that one's not very subtle.
No, but some of the history part in some of his lyrics, I really like how he grabs culture and history and integration of what's going on around him and puts music and beat to it.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that.
Growing up, as an African American in the 60s, he's seen a lot in our nation's history, through the civil rights movement, through all the different changes and tensions that have happened in our country. One of his biggest accomplishments was actually successfully lobbying for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to have the holiday. He was one of the people that was like putting pressure on
part of that movement
to get that holiday, which eventually Ronald Reagan created. Mm-hmm. But, he experienced racism firsthand. Mm-hmm. He was on a tour with like a group of musicians where they could play was limited by segregation. Their bus was shot at in Alabama. So that
he not only sings about the lyrics of the history of it, but he's been a part of it.
Exactly.
He makes it very personal.
Exactly.
And that was one of the things I really enjoyed about him.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel his heart. He's very heartfelt in his lyrics, and somehow even in the notes that he chooses his music, I just really liked him as an artist.
Yeah, really expressive. Living for the City is one of those songs that is about like institutionalized racism in our country. That song came out in 1973, so in a big heated, time. And the song includes like literal sounds of the city, sirens and voices and things to get that feel. But one of the lyrics in here is another thing that you might have noticed is more like spiritual song inspirations. Did you look at the lyrics of Higher Ground?
I did.
Her brother's smart. He's got more sense than many. To find a job is like a haystack needle because where he lives, they don't use colored people. So obviously some of the songs may not be like explicitly about that, but this song particularly is him like singing about these people that are like working so hard and they're being like judged by how they look, but they're just doing the best they can in this really like negative, difficult situation.
Yeah. Most of the notes that I took away from that song was just more of like, I really liked his music part.
Okay.
I did like his lyrics and where the spiritual part aspect was. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So that song is kind of about reincarnation, but also kind of about having a second chance in life. And what's amazing is right after he recorded this song, he was in a really terrible accident and was in a coma for days.
Car accident?
Yeah.
Ah.
And it was nearly fatal. He was in a coma. He permanently lost his sense of smell in that accident.
Wow. Lost his sense of smell permanently.
Yeah, and taste temporarily. Okay, so we're talking about Higher Ground. And what's amazing is they took this song and they played it into his ear while he was in the coma, and his fingers were tapping to the beat of that song.
I just got chills
Isn't
all
that
over my
crazy?
body. That is so crazy.
So he
in a coma.
Yeah, so he has a lot of like, these spiritual ideals or songs about love and peace, and people working together. And I think that comes out in the way he just talks and sings and the message that he wants to get across, because he, this song, which he wrote before, has now this extra meaning because it's his life. He's getting a second chance. Like,
wow.
So
That
I wanted
is
to tell you
so
that story.
Cool. What year was his car accident?
1973.
Okay, so it was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he's still producing music now and still in concert now.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so cool. Wow. What a recovery.
Isn't
to be
that
able to go
amazing?
back to the life that he previously had. What a real second chance. And for him to really grasp that's props to you, Stevie, for many reasons now.
And his music has just inspired so many musicians. Yeah, there were so many. I'm not even going to try to list them all, but because his music, incorporates pop, funk, jazz, like, he was inspired by jazz artists like Duke Ellington and blues, like people like Ray Charles, like those were his inspirations.
Don't know either of those names. Maybe I'll learn later.
Yeah, we'll get to those guys eventually.
Maybe Ray Charles. No. I think I know someone whose name is Ray, and he's a friend with a guy named Charles.
Okay.
That's the different.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The point is that jazz, pop, funk, R&B artists now who are pop stars, R&B stars, hip hop stars, people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Alicia Keys, John Legend. I mean, like, you could go on and on and on with the people that have said that Stevie Wonder was an influence on their music today. He's continually impacting even music that's coming out now. So he's one of the most like important musicians in that regard, and in terms of his influence.
I can't believe I did not know who Stevie Wonder is.
No, you knew who he was.
To this capacity until this week.
But what's crazy is that
I really did miss a lot.
you did. You did miss a lot. And, unfortunately, even that little hour of music that I gave you doesn't cover even close to some of his albums, you know, that are complete works of art, or, you know, even, I mean, there are a lot of songs I didn't know. So, little check again, Stevie Wonder also covered My Girl. So,
the song, My Girl.
You were correct in that. Whenever you guess, I want to give you props. I don't always know the covers, but he did cover that. And he also did do a Christmas album. So, if you would like to listen to that in a few months.
I do. So I think I want to get to the rating part because I'm really excited about this.
Okay, well, let's talk about the rating. 1 being you want to throw it in the trash. 10 being you want to buy that music, raise your daughter on it, make sure you get all this Stevie Wonder that you can.
So I'm going to be honest with you.
Good.
So,
and the world, you know,
yes.
The audience.
My podcast audience. I love you. So at the beginning of our conversation here, as we took a break, I had a number in mind.
Okay.
But after chatting with you, some light bulbs really came on of just where what a gift to give to his kids. What a gift to give to himself of just the realization of the second chance and just some of the things of the impact, you know? Mm-hmm. I think my numbers changed even after our conversation. I think I'm going to go for a 10.
A 10!
Yes!
Yeah, high five.
Like, I want to go get more of his music.
Great.
I love how I had just a wonderful week of just enjoyment and smiling because of Stevie Wonder. I like the dancing I enjoyed and the second chance I have because this summer I get to dance with my ankles that were broken.
So our show is all about your second chance
Aww.
Of listening to music that you somehow missed for most of your life. And now you have a second chance to experience all the beautiful musical creations that the rest of us have been enjoying for a while.
Stevie,
you look like you're gonna cry.
I am almost. It's just, it's just that I feel like Stevie's now on a first name basis with me now. I just really liked his music. I had a lot of fun this week. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Alison.
You're so welcome.
I'm excited about this week. I think Stevie just energized me, encouraged me to move forward. So I'm excited about the future weeks. I have no idea what Alison's going to give me. So I'm excited about that, and I hope you guys can join in with a conversation via our social media avenues, like Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, and
And on Spotify. If you search for Spotify user music she missed, you can listen to my playlists. Feel free to tweet at us, make suggestions for other songs Rachel should listen to, and artists you'd like to see us do in the future.
We love you, and tune in next week.
Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.